destroying the lives of children and creating terrible trauma for children is evil. Okay? So that's our starting point, because that goes back to our very first session in our definition of evil, that we take a definition of evil in terms of its consequence. We say causing grave harm and suffering to the innocent. So causing grave harm and suffering to children is evil. So then when you look at the separation policy, which was enacted by the United States at that time, I give the example of the people who got up and go to work, the ordinary working people got up that morning or whatever morning, got up and maybe had some breakfast with their family, maybe said a prayer. If they're a good Christian, they'll thank the Lord for their breakfast. The children are getting ready for school. Mommy is maybe getting ready for work as well, or maybe it's mummy who's going out to work. It could be mummy. Mummy's gone out to work and she works for the immigration services, or she works for the police department or whatever. And then you look at the bus drivers, you look at the nurses, you look at the police officers, you look at the border guards, you look at all of these people. So you pick any one of them. Mummy is a nurse, or mummy is a border guard. So she kisses her kids, she tosses their hair, she says, okay, I'll see you later, honey. And she drives to work. Maybe she's a bus driver. She drives her bus down to the border. Inside in the border, she meets Josephine and Jack and their border guards, and they have a big cage with some children in it and some parents, and they take the children from the parents, and then they bring them in the bus to a holding center where Jack and Jill and Mary and Randy and whoever, they're the nursing, they would check them to see if they have any diseases, because they don't want any unhealthy people. Then they go to social services and social workers who are being paid for taking care of people because they're social workers and they're caring. They're trying to decide where they're going to send these children to, what strangers they're going to send them off up to, wherever, people who will be paid money by the state to take these children and perhaps destroy their lives. And there are thousands of them, as far as I know, still who've not been able to, or at least hundreds have never been able to find their parents again. The people who are involved in all of that are not evil people. So this is Arendt's concept. It's such a powerful thing, because you're saying, this is evil. There's no other word for this. I'm not interested in whether it was Donald Trump or Joe Bloggs or whoever. I'm not interested in that at this point. I'm interested in, when you set a system up, many people will actually take part in it and never consider that what they're actually doing is they're actually doing evil. And Mary will go home, or Joanne will go home, and the kids will be fed and they'll do their homework and they'll talk about school and they'll watch television and they'll get up and go to work and do the same thing the day after. These are not evil people. This is Arendt's concept of the banality of evil. Now, in order for many people to engage in banal evildoing, there needs to be an evildoing system in place. The people who are putting the thing in place are not banal evildoers. These are zealots. These are, most of them, oftentimes, they will be ideologically driven. And we will be looking at ideological evil in one of our sessions later on.